I'm on Boonwurrung country walking through Berwick Springs. I'm visiting here mostly on evenings. I love the breeziness coming with tiny drops of water from the water fountain and how that creates ripples in the water. This is what draws me to this place. It's such a pleasant environment with full of trees, flowers and ducks, and I love listening to the sounds that birds make. This is what interests me about this place. I enjoy sitting down by this lake as it's such a calm place to be and relax. This is making me feel that I'm connected to this place. Everything else just drops away and I become more with this place. It's a very mindful thing actually. Apart from humans, I have noticed there are more than human elements such as lake birds, ducks, flowers, rocks, trees and plants in this place. They also have agents in this place. I see ducks swimming in, walking freely wherever they want, even though there are people around them. Also, I see seabirds come go and near the lake as and when they want. Below indicated that the people's care and connection to a place can be seen by critically examining the amount of degrade in that place. She also has mentioned that stories of a degraded natural place can inspire new possibilities and lead people to care. This place has the potential to motivate learning and new possibilities as it is degraded. I saw some trees were cut down and also there was some rubbish too. At times the sound of traffic is pervasive. We can see that the environment is degraded and hence there's a requirement to inspire learning and new possibilities and lead people to care because there's still life here. I can see the fishes living inside the lake and ducks swimming on the lake. Also, I can hear the trees moving in the wind and the sounds of many birds. Whenever I visit here, I am observing all the nature around me, but I haven't purposely considered or looked for mathematics and science perspective in a place before. By undertaking this subject, I began to realize the role of this place could play in learning, and I start thinking about maths. Maths is a subject liked by some, while some don't much, mostly because of its complexity. As long as we like to explore freely, be curious, investigate, and concentrate on our own interests, we can have the ability to challenge our idea of maths. The environment is simply giving us the view of maths in everywhere and in part of everything and always has been. After reading the conference paper by Lee, I got the idea of implementing the mathematical concepts of space, number, measurement, pattern, shape, and classification in the early childhood education and care setting. By having these concepts in my mind, I began to see mathematics all around me. My eyes are immediately drawn to the bridge. I see shapes, squares, rectangles, triangles, circles, and semicircles. I think about weight and mass and the concepts of what will float and what will sink. I think about how seasons are part of our mathematical learning about time. I see flowers are beginning to bloom here and normally I would describe the current season as spring. But I am aware that the Boonwurrung people have a much more detailed local understanding of the seasons. They are simply looking into the natural elements such as animals, birds, insects, flowers, trees, weather and stars rather than an arbitrary date to determine whether the season has changed. According to City of KZ website, the elders of Boonwurrung people observe the first blooms of the black wattle trees to know that it is the time they are moving to the spring season. Also, I think about patterns, measurements, classification, and the mathematical concepts that the Aboriginal people may have used. I would like to know more about the Aboriginal connection to this place. I love the entanglement of past and present and the beauty of nature and human impacts that I experience here. It is what has drawn me to this place, and as I connected it to the language of maths now, I have a new respect for the role this place can play to help define, communicate, and make sense of mathematics. A place can be helpful us to notice, to play, and to investigate and thereby learn. This provides us the idea of place as a pedagogical contact zone, or our learning is entangled with more than humans. Hammond Butcher stated that by engaging with the notion of place as a pedagogical contact zone, we work with the understanding that places are layered with complexity and continue to hold the legacies of colonization. Children have the right to play and they can make choices. I believe this place is supporting the children's agency. They can independently learn by engaging with the natural elements surrounding this place. According to Kildare and Rayburn's view, within an early childhood education setting, educator practice and interaction between the educator and the child can result in children's agency being facilitated or constrained. We have to accept the fact that we as educators do not need to have all of the knowledge or power for children to be learning. We have to let the children explore the place and learn. This is where maths become the foundation of so much learning. How many small flowers can you see inside this big flower? What colors you see in the flowers? Why some ducks are swimming on the lake and some ducks are walking in the path? Did you notice the shapes of these wooden pieces? Why that leaf is different from other leaf? What happens if we throw these rocks to the lake? What happens if we throw these sticks to the lake? Which ones are floating and which ones are sinking on the water? We can see 8 leaves here, 4 similar shaped leaves, 2 different shapes. Some leaves have a straight edge while some leaves have curvy edges. As you can see, we are assessing the size, properties and comparing them as we make our risk assessment. One of the 100 languages of children is maths, and it should not be one of complex academic terms. It is a language of understanding, questioning and patterns in nature. It is the language of beauty if you are open to it.